Shalom. My name is Anat Ben Yosef, and I'm the Tourism Consul and Director of the Israel Ministry of Tourism to the Western region of the United States of America. Today, I'm going to discuss the American travel trade, from consortia through host agencies, travel consultants, and other major players that create the American travel market. If you would like to have more information regarding the North American travel markets to Israel, please make sure you watch the other videos given by my counterparts to get a clearer picture of the North American market. Our Western Region office promotes travel to Israel from the 13 Western states, including Hawaii and Alaska. Our day-to-day work includes business development and partnering with the local travel trade, participating and presenting in various travel and tourism conferences, cultivating media and public relations with local and national media, including content development, placement, interviews, and other activations. We also work closely with the religious communities and organizations at large, and especially Christian opinion leaders, churches, and similar organizations to help them understand not only the importance of traveling to Israel, but also to give them the knowledge to make a trip to Israel a reality, and consequently, into a product for them and for you, the DMCs. We have a wonderful team here in LA. Each of them specialized in their respective areas. They are a great source of knowledge and information for you at any time. Please feel free to reach out to any of us. Our Los Angeles-based office is located in West LA. We've had the joy and privilege to meet many of you while you were visiting our area. We all hope and pray COVID-19 will pass soon and the borders will be open again as fast as they closed. When this happens, we will be ready to host you again in our office with a good cup of coffee and great views of the Pacific Ocean. As for me personally, I will be concluding my 6-year tenure in the next few weeks. This position has been challenging and interesting, and I will be going back to Israel to explore new adventures. I would be more than happy to meet with you back home, to consult and discuss any aspect of the American market from this side of the pond all the way through the Mediterranean and back home to Israel. After this short introduction, let me dive into the content of this presentation, which is sharing the structure of the US travel trade and how you can find your best way to engage with it, either from afar or through focused events or conventions, online and offline. First, I'd like to point out that more than 60% of air travel in the States is booked via intermediaries, travel agents, tour operators, OTAs, or a combination of the three. When it comes to land services and hotels, the percentage is even higher. Your business could operate in a variety of ways, and it is important to choose your touch point. As you can see, there are different chains of supply, with various players and in various lengths, or chefs in the kitchen if you wish. At IMOT, Israel Ministry of Tourism, our focus is generally on the first three, as they represent most of the business and provide the most valuable touchpoint as a representation of the market. The first point of contact and most prolific is the travel agent, who is also referred to as travel consultant or advisor. Travel consultants are generally accessed by the Israel Ministry of Tourism via associations and consortia, or with direct relationship with host agencies and mega agencies. What do all these terms mean? Well, first, the associations. These are organizations formed by agents and agencies for agents and agencies, with the goal to provide networking opportunities, education, training, and best practices, and even lobbying and government relations for the industry. They are essentially trade organizations, just like you would have in any other industry. The largest organization in the US is also the largest in the world, and it's the American Society of Travel Advisors, or in short, ASTA. ASTA has chapters across the United States, and it is open to working with new suppliers who wholesale to agents. The process of joining them as a supplier is easy and is definitely something to consider. In our work with them, we speak or present at their annual conference and conduct numerous seminars at the chapters across the country. IMOT also just hosted their annual Destination Expo, bringing more than 200 agents to Israel this last November. A consortia can be either a for-profit or non-profit co-op organization. The key difference is that membership primarily relates to benefits relating to sales, marketing, partnership, and business tools with more detailed education and training on their preferred partners. This includes members and suppliers from all over the chain of travel trade, travel agencies, host agencies, travel agents, and any other companies or individuals that are involved within the world of travel. The consortia's suppliers are DMCs, hotels, service companies, airlines, and tourism boards like us, the Israel Ministry of Tourism. Aside from tourism boards, the partnership generally includes increased commission or guest benefits. Participation is closed, so this also acts as an endorsement of the suppliers. For a travel agent or agency, the idea behind joining a consortium is to get access to vetted products and companies, be part of a large purchasing power, and get acquainted with new products through the educational channels that the consortia offers to its members. In order to be accepted, a member has to meet certain threshold conditions. The first is a minimum amount of annual revenue alongside with other requirements. For a supplier, this is a great way to reach a large group of vetted, usually very serious, high-quality potential clients, being able to convey the message through the consortia's platform, and much more. I will say, though, that when you're considering joining a consortia, you need to be fully committed to quality, as the competition can be tough. The largest consortia in the States are currently Vacation.com. It's a subsidiary of Travel Nova. You also know Virtuoso, Signature Travel Network, and Ensemble. But there are others on national, regional, and niche-based level, depending on your company's specific and specialty interests. All the big consortia already have Israeli DMCs and hotel partners. Joining as a supplier, especially to a large consortium that represents luxurious products, is often costly, but for the right product, very much worth it. As a DMC, you will be expected to give special rates, terms, and specials just for the consortia's clientele. It doesn't have to be anything big. It just has to have the personal touch. My general recommendation is always to be as receptive and responsive as possible. With clients that are members of this kind of organizations, this recommendation is even more important, as they are a part of a larger network and your reputation is worth it. The third type are the host agencies and mega agencies. By mega agencies, I mean very large and important agencies which have various aptitudes and business models. They usually have offices and agents in various locations. Some have physical offices and some work from home, part-time and full-time. The largest and most known mega agency is Travel Leaders, who owns or influences about 40% of the agents' market. Other examples are agencies like Frosh, Direct Travel, AAA, Flight Center, Travel Edge, CTM, and Valerie Wilson. Please note that most of the companies I just mentioned are also members of our consortia, which adds another professional business layer and benefits both the companies as well as you, the suppliers. A host agency is a business that provides the pipeline for independent travel agents and travel suppliers. But it goes beyond the boundaries of a consortium or association, as the agents literally book and do all business under one big IATA and CLIA membership, or via some form of accounting oversight by the host agency, with the host agency receiving a share of the commission. For the travel agent, they act as a host, meaning they give them the infrastructure to start their business, from supplying them with an actual or virtual desk, though these days we see less brick and mortar agencies and more virtual ones, email addresses, access to databases and licensing, like the ability I mentioned earlier to use an existing IATA number to book air tickets. They give bookkeeping services, networking opportunities, education, support, and of course, the access to preferred suppliers with better rates and facilitated booking process, as they act as an organized purchase group, which give them a better bargain power in return to the amount of clients they bring to the table. Most of the host agencies rely primarily on home-based contractors. Their size can vary from very small to having hundreds or even thousands of agents. Some of the largest host agencies are Cruise Planners, TPI, Travel Savers, Dream Vacations, Avoya, Travel Experts, and M Travel. For you, as a supplier, connecting with a host agency is a great way to share your services through an organized funnel to up to hundreds of travel agents that otherwise you'd probably won't be able to reach, with a relatively low cost or sometimes even free. There are many host agencies in different volumes, so I recommend you first decide what is the relevant product you want to promote, where and to who you want to reach out, and then research for the right host agencies to connect with. The last connection I want to go over is reaching out to the seller directly, the individual travel consultants themselves. Though consortia, mega agencies, and host agencies have their preferred partners, individual agents book with whomever they feel most comfortable. Oftentimes, finding good prospective agents is not very hard. These companies and organizations promote their agents as specialists, and they can often be found on the website of the consortium or the agency. Remember, good business can come from each link of the chain. Do not underestimate the value of working at any level of this paradigm. The next part of the market I want to discuss are the tour operator. Academically speaking, they are your traditional counterparts, but as we all know, this is not always the case. Regardless, they are a major part of the market that needs to be explained properly. First of all, it is important to note that there are two predominant forms of tour operators, the B2Bs and the B2Cs. Operators that work B2B, meaning business to business, book with agents and will expect better pricing from a partner in Israel. However, they will also deliver more consistent results. A B2B tour operator will often be a member of one of the big consortia I mentioned earlier, but note that the fact that they are B2B doesn't necessarily mean they are big. They also can be a general operator or a specializing niche one. Some are more custom-oriented and others do guaranteed departures. You will find that many of them do take direct bookings, but their key clients are the agents. Some big names in the B2B tour operators world are Tauk, Trafalgar, Globus, A&K, Insight, and Colette. A B2C, or a business-to-consumer operator, is even more diverse. Sometimes they will act more like a local agency that does escorted tours. They will often offer fully escorted groups with structured itinerary, and many of them are even more of a niche operator for topics like food or seniors or exploration, adventures, and so forth, and focus efforts more locally. You will see B2B operators that conduct guaranteed departures either to multiple destinations or just one or two. You will also note that sometimes it's harder to find them because they do not source agents as clients, but reach out directly to the end client. Nevertheless, if your company is equipped to work through this kind of funnel, connecting with a tour operator that works directly with the end client can be a very profitable way for you. Aside from marketing agreements, which I will get to later, IMOT is constantly working to reach B2C operators. We annually bring new B2C operators to Israel for the Where Else and IMTM events and work with them to add Israel to their product list. We definitely see a lot of potential here, and I think you should too. Now, as a subset of all the types of companies mentioned, we also have the Israel specialized trade. These are often the best known to the travel trade in Israel and can range from a mom and pop shop to sizable companies that usually focus on the Jewish or Christian markets. The Israel specialists will probably already have an existing relationship with one or more DMCs, and most of the times will have vast knowledge about Israel and have visited the country many, many times. Even though they already have existing systems, don't be afraid to reach out and offer your special point of sale. Maybe start working with them on new products and market segments that they haven't sold before. It's a free market, and savvy clients appreciate quality products. Last but not least, I want to mention how we, as the Ministry of Tourism, work with local tour operators and other members of the travel trade. And this is via marketing agreements. The idea is that we share some of their marketing efforts, of course, based on a pre-agreed upon media plan, and reimburse them on a proven spend that they've made. Of course, signing such an agreement is within our discretion and based on several factors, including government budget, and other guidelines, but we do encourage you to share this information and opportunity with your partners overseas. And we can start a conversation to see if and how we can assist their efforts to sell our destination from here. Before I finish, I want to take the opportunity to mention our team of directors here in North America. As you can see and hopefully learn about on previous presentations, we have offices all around the continent, and we are all here to assist you with your business endeavors in this important market. So in New York, we have our Commissioner to North America, Eyal Carlin, as well as our Director to the Northeast, Chad Martin. In our Chicago office, which covers the Midwest, you have Jill Daly. Our consul in Atlanta is Yael Golan, who is in charge of the Southern region. Up north, we have Gal Chana, who is the tourism consul to Canada. And yours truly, the tourism consul to the Western region of the United States. Please feel free to keep in touch with all of us. This is our job to facilitate your way to work better in the US and bring higher quantities as well as quality tourists to Israel. I want to thank you very much for your time and attention, and please stay safe and take care.